Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 1 has an air courtesy of HBO in the US and it will premiere on Sunday, April 14, 2019. In the UK, Sky Atlantic will broadcast the new episode on Monday, April 15 at 2 AM, at exactly the same time as in America. Sky Atlantic will repeat the Season 8, Episode 1 at 9 PM on the same day. Game of Thrones Season 8's air date was revealed in a teaser trailer entitled Crypts of Winterfell. But when will Jon Snow, played by Kit Harington, Daenerys Targaryen, Emilia Clarke, and the rest of the Game of Thrones Season 8 cast return to screens around the world in Season 8, Episode 1? Here's all we know about the Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 1 air date. When is the Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 1 premiere date? Game of Thrones Season 8 has been given a release date of Sunday, April 14, 2019, by HBO. HBO will air the first episode of the new series in the USA, while viewers in the UK will be able to watch Game of Thrones Season 8 the day after, Monday, April 15, on Sky Channel Sky Atlantic. Jon Snow and company will likely appear back on screens from 9 PM on April 14, although an exact airtime is yet to be announced. Ahead of the release date, HBO has released a series of first-look pictures from Game of Thrones Season 8 for fans to see. Where is Game of Thrones Season 8 filmed? To watch Game of Thrones Season 8 online, there are a number of options for viewers both in the UK and USA. Sky customers will be able to stream the new series of Game of Thrones at the same time as its television broadcast via the Sky Go desktop and mobile app. Episodes of Game of Thrones will then be available on the same app to Sky subscribers shortly after each episode finishes to be watched on demand. Now TV has the first 7 seasons of Game of Thrones available to stream online now, so it's likely the streaming service will offer its subscribers the option to watch Season 8. In the USA, HBO subscribers can watch Game of Thrones online via the channel's official website. Hulu also offers its subscribers the choice of adding HBO to packages at an extra cost so fans can watch Game of Thrones online. Whichever way fans decide to watch it, the season promises to be unmissable with a number of characters set to in the final season of Game of Thrones and some fans theorizing Jon Snow may even control the Ice Dragon Viserion in dramatic scenes against the Night King. The cast of Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 1 is also already available for fans to see after an apparent leak by HBO. It promises some unlikely returns for several characters, including Edmure Tully, Tobias Menzies, and Melisandre, Carrick Van Houten. Will Bran confront Jaime in Game of Thrones Season 8? What happens in the new Game of Thrones Season 8 teaser trailer? The trailer teases a number of potential spoilers from the upcoming series, as do the first-look images of Game of Thrones Season 8. The new trailer for Game of Thrones Season 8 opens with Jon Snow walking through the chambers that lie beneath Winterfell. The quote Jon's mother Lyanna Stark, Aisling Franciosi, told her brother Ned Stark, curfew cast member Sean Bean, after Jon's birth plays over the top. You have to protect him. Shortly after, Game of Thrones fans get their first glimpse at Sansa Stark, Sophie Turner, who is also making her way through the chambers that lie under Winterfell. As she stares at the statue of her mother, the voice of Catelyn Stark, Michelle Fairley, is then heard, saying, "All this horror that's come to this family, is all because I couldn't love a motherless child." Arya Stark, Maisie Williams, is then introduced to the promo to join her sister under Winterfell, with all the surviving Stark family members reuniting. Some were baffled to realize Bran Stark was not in the Game of Thrones teaser trailer. The trailer then cuts back to Jon Snow, who is staring at the statue of who he thinks is his father Ned. Jon Snow's real parents were revealed to Lyanna Stark and Rhaenyra Targaryen in Season 7. How many episodes are in Game of Thrones Season 8? You are a Stark. You might not have my name, but you have my blood, Sean Bean's character says over the footage. The trio then congregates together and is faced with 3 crypts, each one modeling each character. Some fan theories suggest the crypts reveal who will next in Game of Thrones Season 8. Game of Thrones teaser trailer takes a tense turn as Sansa, Jon, and Arya each stare at their respective statue in the face, perhaps hinting at the doomed fate of all 3. Just as the high-tempo music builds, Jon's torch is blown out by a cold breeze, signifying the arrival of the White Walkers. Arya and Jon both draw their swords, ready to battle, as the frost descends over the Winterfell chambers. Before fans can get a peek at the White Walkers or the Night King, the trailer cuts to black and reveals the Game of Thrones Season 8 release date of April 14th. How will Game of Thrones Season 8 end? One star has teased the death of Daenerys Targaryen in Game of Thrones Season 8, warning she's at risk. HBO boss Casey Bloys has confirmed there will be a devastating bombshell in the finale to Game of Thrones, which should come as no surprise. Actor Liam Cunningham has spoken about the end of Game of Thrones Season 8 as he dropped a bombshell about the show. Some fans think they have discovered Sansa Stark's but the character is not who people would expect. Fans think they've figured out Daenerys Targaryen's hidden enemy amongst her allies in Game of Thrones Season 8. Other theories suggest it will be Jon Snow to take the Iron Throne from Daenerys. One character who's definitely tipped to not be sitting on the Iron Throne by the end of Season 8 is Cersei Lannister, with got fans thinking Cersei will after Jaime's departure in Season 7's finale. Tobias Menzies may also be returning as Edmure Tully. Daenerys Targaryen and Jon Snow family connection explained. Who will be in Game of Thrones Season 8? The major cast members are set to be making a comeback, including Kit Harington as Jon Snow, Emilia Clarke as Daenerys Targaryen, Maisie Williams as Arya Stark, Peter Dinklage as Tyrion Lannister, and Sophie Turner as Sansa Stark. Fans have been speculating about the fate of Bronn, with some suggesting there's a clue about to be found. Will Tudor, who is better known as male escort Oliver, has spoken about whether his character will be returning to Game of Thrones for Season 8. But it looks unlikely he will be making a return. Game of Thrones Season 8 premieres on Monday, April 15th at 2 AM and 9 PM on Sky Atlantic and Now TV in the UK. This article contains affiliate links, which means we may receive a commission on any sales of products or services we write about. This article was written completely independently. See more details here.